Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, class of 1923 Arena. Tommy Tuill here. We're in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We got a nice little clash going on here in the CSCHC. Three-time defending champions Penn Quakers taking on the Drexel Dragons. Both of these teams, this is actually their home ice. So if you want, we could even say this is possibly, technically, as a joke, the battle for the home arena. Besides that, it's also known as the Battle of 33rd Street. Fight on the L. Both these teams, both these schools, very, very close in proximity. Both the kids on the teams probably know each other pretty well at this point. Local high schools and everything. So this should be a good one. Drexel on the year right now. They are fourth in the conference. 2-3 record, 2-1 in the conference. Last game, though, was a rough one to the Westchester Golden Rams. They did lose 10-1. Besides that, the Penn Quakers are 1-3 in the conference. Right now, technically, when you're looking at the standings, outside the playoff bubble at 8. So this will be intriguing to see what goes on. About to get opening puck drop away. And we are starting to go. Really quick, dumped in right there by Stephen Basin. Quickly scooped up. Mark Tarazzi, who had a fantastic goal in the win against Seton Hall, I called here 2 weeks ago. Had it up. That was a centering opportunity, just goes wide. Quickly, though, scooped up and put in by Owen Mendham. Now Tarazzi shoots it right up to get Griffin Bond. And he'll dump it on in. Good movement so far. Big collision down there. That was a centering pass opportunity. Just goes wide. And now there is Bujankis with it. Quickly, though, centered up to Aiden Barrett. He'll drop it back off the basin. Tarazzi gets to it towards the corner. Puck still loose. Fighting for it. Basin picks it up. He takes a shot. Quick save right there. Jack Averill with the stop. He is the starting netminder in goal for the Quakers. Our starting goaltender on the opposite side for the Dragons going to be number 33, Vincent Fasalo. Draw really quick to the right of Averill. Does get one back by Drexel. And now quickly scooped up by Zachary Jones. Dropped off. Walsh with it now. Looks. Shot does get fanned on. Quickly scooped up now by Dennis Brown. Also one of the 3 goal scorers the Quakers had in their lone win in conference play. Now a quick turnover in the neutral zone brings it back into Jones. He'll slide it in. That'll be a shot just a little wide for Michael Egan. And Corey Freeman will play it on up to his line mate Christian Ford, who will skate it into the Drexel zone. Now winding behind Vassallo. Looks. He'll take a quick shot. Does get blocked in front. Just nicked by a defender, and that'll get shipped up and out by Josh Search. And now the Quakers will reset. Quick dump in, though. Good look by Kevin Shen. And another clear here for Drexel, and they'll look to get a change. Little stretch pass, just a little too hot for Burner. And now Toby Burner trying to keep it up. Kept in and dumped down by Young Woo Park. And now here comes Bond with it. Behind Vassallo, looking. Tries to center up. That'll be shot in the goal! Chris Buglosi gets it going. The lights go off. 2.5 in. It's 1-0 Quakers. We'll see the replay right here. Low to high. This looks like what they've been trying to draw up. Buglosi just comes right through the middle. Smokes it right past Vassallo. And that's a big one right there for the Quakers, as they will strike first. Now Buglosi quickly gets through the draw. Chips it back in. Cleared up. Pinched back up to Aiden Barrett. Try to get a stretch pass over to Nate Silberman. And now Sam Houston will gain the zone for the Quakers. On the backhand, tries to go, does get stiffed away though. And now we're going to get Mendham and Houston banging along in the corner. Quick stretch pass though. We have an opportunity. Kevin Shen now one-on-one. He looks back and he'll score! The Dragons strike right back. Aiden Barrett on the stretch pass. And in 40 seconds time, got them with their napping real quick. Backhand just beats it right past Averill. And we do know both these teams are very gifted. They do like to play fast, and already we got one apiece for these two. Now, just like that, quick. Looked like Freeman lost his edge. A couple players meet at center ice real quick. That's going to be a turnover. Vassallo has trouble with it. Puck's loose. He will scoop it up. And that puck was just loose right down at the end. Bujankis had it close. And a good job right there by Vassallo to realize trouble was near. Just to swallow it up. Quick draw right there. Was won nicely by Michael Egan. Now puck though still loose. Already Bujankis, the freshman, with the one goal already. Now behind the net quickly. Picked back up by Dylan Fletcher. He'll chip it up. That's going to be a quick shot on Averill. Now puck is loose. It's going to be another opportunity. Bodies are hitting the ice. That's going to be another centering pass just a little wide. Jones had an opportunity. And it is getting physical, and the pace is just continuing to pick up. Now, here comes Egan with it. Try to get a shot. Does get deflected. Quickly picked up by Toby Berner. And now here comes Bujankis again. He'll take a shot. Saved by Vassallo. Quick loose. That puck is still around. Vassallo will finally freeze it down as it goes under him. Great chance again by Bond, too. Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, we might have to take a deep breath. I think we're in for a little SFBN After Dark high action. If you don't even need caffeine right now. I mean, these guys are just flying up and down the ice. We haven't even played 5 minutes. Nonetheless, quick draw there, one. Clear for Barrett, does get deflected. And now we do have a high stick. See, they're saying it was played by a high stick. That's what I believe they're saying. That was against Penn. So we're going to get a draw to the left of Averill. So that is going to be Basin and Brown in the dot. Quickly won back. Youngwoo Park had it. Looking to try to clear. Tried to sprint. Good block right there by Barrett. He's looking. That'll be a shot. Good save by Averill with the kick save. The pressure stays on. Basin now with it still. Sends it down. That'll be a shot. Blocked, though. Good job again by Park. He was going to try to spring Brown. Brown almost gets hip checked there by Basin. And the physicality continues to pick up. And the pace stays the same. Now Park dumped it loose. Basin will get it. Little high flip into the neutral zone. And now Armley will handle it. Brown dumps it in through the red line. Puck still loose. Turnover, though. Quakers with an opportunity. Quick sandwich right there. Ford got sandwiched by a couple of Dragons. And now Brown, though, back with it. There's another chance. Puck's loose. Backhand opportunity just goes wide left of Vassallo. And the Quakers looking to try to keep it up. Brown along the wall. Tips it loose. Quickly scooped by Armley. Armley tried to take a hack at it towards Vassallo. Now puck is in danger. Quickly poked away. And Barrett will do another high flip and down. This should be icing, and it will be. And just like that, we will get a draw in the Drexel zone. Shot totals right now 5-4 in favor of the Dragons. Buglosi with the draw. Hooks it up. Barrett back with it. Dumps it down in the zone. Tries to find Jones. He will win the race to the puck. Jones now tried to get it up. Buglosi does poke it away. Does lose his stick. Now, Fletcher. Danced with it in front of Vassallo. Dumps it over to Walsh. Walsh tried to pick it up, though. Buglosi gets the intercept in the neutral zone. Feeds it over to Tarazzi. Mark Tarazzi. Fishes it in. Back to Buglosi. Buglosi tries to feed it in the corner. Back down loose is Burner with it in the corner. Feeds it back up to Armley. Armley to Tarazzi. Dances the blue line. Flips it. Just hits off the post. He had a chance. Now Buglosi behind the net. Looks. He shoots. Just goes wide. Buglosi looking for another. And the Quakers keep it in. Buglosi skating on in. Hooks it up. That's going to be a shot. Just a little high. Good chance for Houston. Just couldn't get it on net. Now Tarazzi. Stretch pass from Buglosi. Tries to feed it through. Quickly poked away by Fletcher. Tarazzi keeps possession in the corner. That pass quickly intercepted by Andrew Walsh. And now the Quakers will get it in their zone. Aiden Armley now. Quick stretch pass to Buglosi. He'll shoot. Blocker save right there by Vassallo. Had an opportunity. He also did have Griffin Bond with him. But now Tarazzi bumps it up to Freeman. Freeman now will take a shot. Just goes a little wide. Left. And Penn still with it. That'll be another pass. Shot. Good save by Vassallo. Bond with it. Now a quick whistle by the official. Looks like there was some alignment wrong with the netting. Vassallo may have bumped it a little hard. Nonetheless, just about 8 minutes into this one. Goal scored by Chris Buglosi and Aiden Barrett. That's what knots this up. As now Barrett again. Tries to get it up to the point. Kept in by Freeman. Puck still loose. Chance there for Bond. Now will get quickly put up and down by Dylan Fletcher. No icing is the call. And Bajankis had it turned over. That'll be a shot. Good blocker save by Averill. Great chance again for Barrett, looking for two. Now that centering opportunity for Silberman did not work. They're going to set back up there. That's going to be an odd angle shot. Save. Great chance again for the Dragons. Just couldn't get past. Now here comes Bajankis. Going on in. That shot just a little wide. I think the net got knocked off again. No whistle yet, though. Bajankis tries to keep it in. Lemire almost had it. That was a stretch pass intended for Basin. And icing will be the call. It looks like the coach for Drexel is trying to tell the officials something. Couldn't tell if it's something with the playing surface itself, or if he was trying to say that Basin had him beat to the puck. Nonetheless, good win right there by Dennis Brown. And now we are still getting some action along the boards. Barrett trying to clear it up, and he will. Now here comes Stephen Basin. Looking, he'll go, shot. Averill does swallow it up. And now Owen Mendham and Jacob Keon. Just wanted to talk some shop real quick. Jones and Browns for the draw. Does get kicked back to Shen. He'll clear it up, but not out. Kept in by Fletcher. Puck still loose. Shen tries to kick it. Brian O'Reilly, though, will send it down. Now Shen finally gets to the loose puck. Skates it up through the neutral zone and will dump it in before Jones meets him along the boards. Corey Held dumps it through. That pass does get bounced off, but Brown quickly to it in the neutral zone. Will start to skate it back. Does a big loop, and now he's going. Brown makes a man miss. Tries to go through a defender and just couldn't get it past Corey Held, who will send it all the way down. Now Armley will set back up behind Averill. Armley now back to the goal scorer, Broglosi. Looks, tries to center it up, does go off, but there's a chance. Shot! Quickly scooped up by Vasallo. Tarazzi had it from the point. And we will get another stoppage of play. And a draw this time to the left of the Dragons goaltender. Broglosi and Silberman with the draw. Tarazzi quickly ships it up, glove down by Vasallo. Nine to 7 shot count right now in favor of the Quakers. Broglosi wins it back. Tarazzi will dump it through. Poked up, kept in though by Armley. Now he has a chance. He shoots. Good line of sight right there for Vasallo. He just sees it right into his glove. Already. A lot of back and forth action. This is probably the most offensive zone time we've seen for one team so far in one sitting. And now that draw was tied up. Kept in, though, by Broglosi. Quickly gotten to, though, by Jack Lemire. And Broglosi quickly strips it away from Barrett, and he's going up the left side. He's going to leave it loose. Does get poked up again. And now here comes Basin and Barrett. Cutting on in. Basin almost had it, still lost it through, though. Menham gets it, ships it down. Basin now again behind the net. Looks to center. Found Silberman. And his shot just goes a little wide. And Sam Houston will take it up for the Quakers. Houston to his left. Dumps it back down. Just missed Burner. And now a quick little whip around there. Picks it up. Basin now along the boards. Tried to find Silberman. Now he has it in front of his bench. Moved up, though, by Winata. Tristan Winata now in the corner. Feeds it back up to Corey Freeman. That'll be a shot deflected just a little high of the net. And scooped back up. That'll be another shot just a little wide for Rockoff. Kept in the zone. Now behind Vasallo. Quickly picked up by his mate, Josh Search. Another high flip all the way down, and this one will be icing. So now the Penn forecheck's starting to make the Dragons pay a little bit. The high flip isn't working as well as they'd want to. Obviously, the counter rush did work with the Aiden Barrett goal that we did see in the period. But still now looks like the Quakers are finally starting to get their game plan working. Now there's a battle along the boards. Bodies in front. Brown tries to bump it through to Ford, and he does. He's behind the net. Ships it over to Burner. Burner back over to Brown. He'll leave it be. That'll be a shot up. That'll hit the safety netting. So that shot for Park went off a stick. So now we will get a draw to the right of Vasallo. Ford and Egan in the draw. That'll be Park again. That shot blocked quickly by Jones. And now that's a turnover. Quick little centering pass. Kept in. Now Jones, joined by Walsh. He'll dump it and chase. Almost hit the official. Goes back. Brown hit Jones hard in the corner. Puck is still loose. Now Kevin Shen with it. Tried to find Keon, just couldn't get to him, but he has it in the corner. Keon now trying to make a man miss. Back over to Brown. Tries to feed it in front. Just couldn't get him. Vassallo had his angles right. And now Zach Jones dumps it in. He takes an odd angle shot. Saved by Averill. Second chance opportunity. Another save. That was a great follow-up. And the Quaker goaltender stands strong. Now Dennis Brown on the counter. Gets the angle on the backhand. He shoots. Saved by Vassallo. Bounces off quick. He will freeze it up. It looked like Egan had a great chance on Averill after the odd angle shot from Jones hit him right off the mask. But now 6:17 left. Another quick whistle. It looked like Owen Menham thought he was getting on the ice. They already have 5. That's a nice thing for the official to do. Not let him get too many men. That was a chance off the draw. Good opportunity. Houston had a chance. Now he has it on the backhand behind Vassallo. Houston skates with it. Sauces it over to Tarazzi. Tarazzi back in. Intercepted by Basin. And now he has Barrett. Barrett ships it over to Silberman. Lost track of it. Drexel was almost in a change, and now I believe that should be a too many men on the ice penalty. Little miscommunication by the Dragons, and we will get our first power play of the evening. It looks like Corey Held will be the one to sit this one. Power play did look good for Penn in the game I called against Seton Hall 2 weeks ago. Lots of great puck handlers for this squad. As Ford ships it over. And now Brown back to Armley. Passes it up. Little give and go. Armley's still with it now. Looking through. Tries to center it right in front. Almost had Ford right there if he could get a stick on it. Now Boglosi feeds it through the middle. Dumps it off to Armley. Armley fakes the shot. Give and go with Brown. Now he'll shoot it from the point. Saved by Vassallo. Keon right in front with the screen. But we'll get that frozen down. Decent looking power play right now. About 30 seconds into it. Great movement. And obviously we saw it in the first goal for Boglosi, but looks like they love that little low to high. Get right behind the goaltender, right around the goal line. And then continue to move it up and have their D-men, who are great controlling the puck and moving in the offensive zone, figure it out. That's a shot from Armley at the point. Vassallo will corral it and freeze it again. And now the second power play unit will come out here for the Quakers. Basin and Winata to take the draw. It's lost in Winata's skates. He's going to take a shot. Vassallo got his glove on it. Now Winata will continue to move it. Bajankis out to the point. Give and go, little miscommunication. Now Winata and Menham slide into the boards. Menahan up but not out, kept in by Bajankis. Back over to Tarazzi. Feeds it through to Winata. He takes a shot. Does get deflected. Could not tell if that was Fletcher or Barrett. The Quakers continue to pressure. Dancing with it now is Park. He takes a shot just a little wide. Now Tarazzi back with it. Back to Park. To Bajankis. Back up top. He's going to take a shot. Save. Opportunity. That's going to be a backhand. Another save. No, my goodness. Vincent Vassallo standing on his head on the power play. That'll get cleared down. And a good job on the kill so far. Great job by the goaltender. As Taurasi will pick it up here with about 10 seconds remaining. Bajankis now along the wall. Stops. Gets poked by Lemaire. And now the penalty is over. So 0 for 1 is Penn with plenty of opportunities. Now Drexel looking to strike back. Quick turnover, though. Leads to Bajankis with a shot. Blocked away by Fasalo. And quickly scooped back up. Buglosi will try to set it back up now for this Quaker offense. He cuts in the zone. Tries to split his defenders. Does go through Vassallo. Vassallo will knock down Buglosi. And we're hearing some oohs and ahs from the crowd and the bench. I will say that is something I've seen Vassallo do already. He is pretty protective of his blue paint. Just something you will see from a netminder. So that's a quick draw towards the boards. Houston back with it in the corner. Now it's going to be another shot. Good save by Vassallo. Rockoff had a chance. That'll be shipped down by Jones for an icing. Again, continuing to look here. 3:09 remaining. Shot differential now is looking a little different. 16-8 in favor of the Quakers. So now that draw just sneakily goes towards Vassallo, but Jones will get it. Try to flip it up in the middle. Quick intercept, though, by Burner. There was a quick check now. That's almost a turnover. Quickly, though, shipped down. Another dump in. And Jack Lemire will get it. Tried to find Jones. He does get tied up, though, by Freeman. And now Buglosi will come back in with a head of steam. On the backhand, he looks, shot saved by Vassallo. He shut him off with the angle. Great goaltending, and we can tell already Chris Buglosi has been skating like his hair's on fire. Now this does get dumped out, but barely into the neutral zone. Quickly scooped up again. Sam Houston continuing the attack. Looking through. Will gain the zone all by himself. Now looks, shot was blocked. Looked to be blocked by Lemire. And now a battle along the boards. Does get tipped by official again. And then that'll be dumped down by Michael Egan. Does go onto Averill, who will have to end up freezing it. So for the first time in a while, we'll have a draw down here in the Quaker zone. Brown and Eisler in the dot. Brown will win it back. Quickly corralled by Shen. And now Keon will move it up. Followed with Brown in the middle. He tries to get a shot quickly. Deflected by Fletcher. Now that's going to be another shot. Good opportunity again by Ford. Vassallo quick with the glove. And this is, again, we are having another issue with this net down here on the broadcast left side. As Vassallo, again, has been peppered with a lot of shots in this period, but still is making it a 1-1 game. That's going to be a centering pass just a little high. Shen, though, keeps it in along the corner. Fed it back over to Ford. That'll be a shot from the point, blocked in front. Now another shot, that'll get blocked. Now Dragons are having trouble trying to get to it. And Shen will keep the pressure. Feed it back over to Ford. His shot, though, does get blocked. Good job right there, standing in front by Pierce McGinley. As we are 1 minute remaining left in this energetic first period with a lot of back and forth action between these close and heated rivals. As now Basin had the clear. Puck's loose, though. Brown will get to it. He looks, he shoots. Blocker saved by Vassallo. Will hit the safety netting and go out of play. With 40.1 remaining. We'll have another draw here to the right of Vassallo. Winata and Basin to go in the dot. Winata tried to feed it back. He will get to it in the corner. Now looks, tries to feed it up, shot, and goal! Great job getting to a loose puck. That's the senior, Griffin Bond. That's his first. Penn takes the late lead. It's 2-1. We'll see this again another time. Low to high, Winata into Bond. Vassallo having a tough time tracking it. They go blocker side this time. And it's been right between the face-off circles where the Quakers have gotten their two greatest opportunities, and they have not missed them. As the Quakers started the scoring in the first period and are looking to add some more. Armley had it in. Now, Barrett, though, will try to lead Silberman. Gets it to the corner. Weird shot. Averill will have to squeeze it up quick. And I will say, for Jack Averill, seeing a couple odd angle shots already, he's done a pretty good job of keeping it in and keeping the angles good, and besides that, making sure he can try to stop the rebound opportunities. As Baglosi will win that, there's a little hit. And now here's an opportunity before the end of it with Berner. He's going to take a shot, saved by Vassallo. Rebound that will get cleared out of harm's way, and that'll do it for the first 20 minutes of play. And just like that, the Quakers will lead 2-1. Going into the second, the teams are going to start to hit the locker rooms. We will get a fresh sheet of ice. Fantastic high-flying action. Physicality and everything. And as these guys take a breath, we will too. Shot total 22-8 right now in favor of the Quakers. It's like Drexel's at center ice. Technically speaking, actually, I was about to say they both are on the same side with their locker rooms because this is both their home ice. So Penn will have to go in first. Drexel will go in second. Kind of a Michigan Stadium type feel, if you would say. Nonetheless, though, they're stepping aside, and so will we. Stay tuned here on the Sports Fan Base Network. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. Class of 1923 Arena, the Battle of 33rd Street. Hitting the ice here. And already, there was a lot of high-flying action in that first period. Really the first 5 minutes, and after that, the Quakers took the tide. 2 goals in that period. First one by Buglosi. After that, we had an Aiden Barrett answer for the Dragons. And then, the senior Griffin Bond. In tight off of Vincent Fasalo, beat him. And just like that, we got 20 minutes and a fresh sheet of ice to play here. Second period right underway. Fasalo will dip that down towards the corner. Quickly picked up by Jack Lemire. And now Buglosi picked it up in the neutral zone. Sends it into the corner. Houston trying to find it. Will scoop it up. Quickly, though, intercepted and cleared out by Andrew Walsh. Chris Buglosi again. Dumps it in. That's a weird bounce off of Vassallo. Loose puck. Just couldn't get to any sticks. And now the little flip. And a dump in for the Dragons. Now there's Basin. Flips it over to Lemire. He's going to take a shot. And Averill will freeze it up. That was a 22-8 shot differential in the first period. Both teams with a shot apiece now, so it's 23-9. But a lot of high-flying action. The one goal for the Dragons was off of a counter rush, little breakaway opportunity there for Barrett. Besides that, not a lot of offensive zone time. They're hoping to try to change that narrative in this period. Quickly, though, kicked up and played through. But there's a turnover. Jones with a shot. He'll score! Zachary Jones makes them pay for the turnover just like that. It's 2-2. The Dragons tie it all up. We'll see it right here. It was a good opportunity to try to get it out. Just a bad turnover for Youngwoo Park. And Jones just absolutely smokes Averill Blocker's side low. It's a little low-to-low action. Quick wrist snap. And just like that, that'll change it again. Averill didn't get a ton of great chances seen at him as Jones will quickly send down Shen on the ice. Student section wanted a penalty. They will not get it. Now Jones trying to spring Egan. Gets beat to it by Shen. And now Penn will try to recenter it in the neutral zone. Quickly dumped down. Picked back up again by Park. And now with a head of steam comes forward into the neutral zone. Feeds it back over to Keon. His shot just goes a little wide into the safety netting and out of play. So just like that, another goal early in this one in the second period. We did have 2 goals in around 40 seconds. We'll see if Penn possibly wants to get another counteract. Winata and Eisler in the dot. We'll go back over to Lemire. He'll feed it over to Menham. Tries to get it up. Chipped down into the Penn zone. Quickly picked up by Tarazi. Then Armley chips it on in. Bond now. The last goal scorer for the Quakers sends it up to Armley. That'll be a shot. Quickly gloved in by Vassallo. And we'll get another draw. So right there already, we've kind of seen 2 Quaker mistakes have helped the Dragons stay in this one. Besides that, offensive zone time has definitely favored the Quakers. And that's a turnover. Bajankis now feeds it back in. Quickly taken away. Great defensive play right there. That looked to be Jordan Height. And now there's going to be a quick whistle. They're going to call a hand pass on Aiden Armley. So this will go out of the zone. We'll get a draw right here, right in front of the Quaker bench. Quick little change now for both squads. Basin and Boglosi in the dot. One back there by Basin. Held turned it over, though. Now there's a chance. Burner behind the net. Tries to center it up. Goes through a couple feet. Held. Will try to ship it up and out of harm's way. We had a player lose his edge. But now Boglosi will feed it back over. That's going to be a shot just a little high for Burner. And then chipped out of the zone. And Rockoff will try to get to it now. Basin will battle with Houston. Houston will win it. Try to get a stretch pass, though. Quickly intercepted by Held. And Basin will dump it down. Does get crunched real quick by Sam Houston. And now there's a turnover. Here comes Boglosi. They have a chance for numbers. Boglosi with Brown and Burner. He's going to look. He stops. He shoots. Save by Vassallo. And then it just trickled wide. Now Houston again. Had it along the boards. Picked up by Freeman. Burner now. Dips it back down. Boglosi with a chance. Tries to center it. Just gets deflected. Burner with an opportunity. Just couldn't get all of it. And Stephen Basin will dump it down. Now Shen trying to knife through the zone. Quickly gets it poked away. But now the forecheck continues to work here. That clearing attempt just gets out there for Jack Lemire. And the Quakers will start it back up. Ford along the wall will shoot just a little high. A couple Dragons bumped into each other. Looked like Vassallo bumped into Menham. Now here we got an opportunity. Jones again on the backhand this time. Just gets saved. Oh my goodness, another shot. And Averill accidentally knocked the net off. As Jones had a chance on the backhand. The skate just got it for Averill. And then he got to it in the puck, just tried to bounce it off of him. Which is the heads-up play. And I will say, Zachary Jones has been all over the ice for the Dragons since puck drop. Almost had a chance for his second of the period. Now, officials talking to the netminder. Now it looks like they're going to take him off the ice. Guess it looks like he's having an issue with his helmet. So we're just going to get a quick replacement there. Looks like Ari Israel, the freshman, will give his over. And we are all set. Egan and Brown in the dot. Jones quickly. Hard hit on Park. Now the puck loose. Jones will get to it. Sends it back up to Search. Search will take a shot. Just goes wide. Now Jones back up to Fletcher. Now that'll be another shot blocked away by Averill. And Jones again getting to it. That's an odd angle shot. Now another opportunity. Quick save right there by Averill. And now the Quakers trying to get back. Brown with it on the backhand. Cuts in front. Shot just gets a piece of it. Does Vassallo. And now here comes Jones on the backside. Cannot get past Aiden Armley. And back with it is Dennis Brown. Trying to cut through. Looks. Backhand shot. Goal! Jacob Keon gets his first. Junior takes the lead back for the Quakers. It's 3-2. We'll see right here. Brown had the entire defense looking at him. They did not see the trailer, and Keon go towards the middle. And goals coming back in quick succession. And that's what you like to see if you are the Quakers. 3 different goal scorers. Sharing the puck well. Making it hard for the netminder. Now Armley tries to keep it up. Now Houston gains the zone. He'll go to the backhand, try to sneak it through. Bugliosi, though, tries to win it back. Has it again. He tries to do a Michigan. Vassallo got him to lose track of it. That'll be dumped down. And now Mark Taurasi will try to set it up, though. That's a turnover. Quick now. Was deflected centering pass, but Bugliosi will get it back. Going now with Burner. Leave it over to Houston. Houston tried to drag it, just lost it. And now Walsh will give it over to Basin. He gets moved off the puck by Armley, going into the offensive zone, and that stretch pass will miss right there for Taurasi. As Bugliosi once again intercepts. He'll feed it over to Jenkins. That's a shot save. Quick kick right there by Vassallo. And then we had Taurasi lose his edge, but get back to it. He's going to take a shot. That gets deflected. Oh, just a little high. And now there's another chance. Puck was blocked. It's loose. Wenato with a shot. Now that's Jenkins' shot. Another save by Vassallo. He's going to freeze it up. We got players down in a heap and a little crowd in front of the net. Dylan Fletcher, I believe, got a piece of one of the original shots. Then it ended up in harm's way right on the stick of Matas Bajankis. And a great effort right there by Vincent Vassallo to swallow it up. Now it looks like with all that meeting, it looks like we will have a penalty. And that penalty is going to go on Pierce McGinley. So just like that, we're going to have another chance here for this Quaker power play to extend the lead. They had an opportunity in the first period. They did not capitalize. Had great movement, though. That draw was won by Basin. Now Fletcher battling with it in the corner. Quickly, though, scooped up by Ford. He looks, feeds it back to Armley at the point. He'll take a shot, deflected, save, another chance, and it's in front. Vassallo, though, again from his stomach, is able to get enough of it and freeze it down. That looked like Armley had it with a Ford tip, and then right after that, Keon had it on the doorstep with an opportunity. Now Brown and Basin, though, that'll go right back, and Vassallo will jump and freeze it. Basin and Brown again. That'll get jumped up. Armley lost it. That will get chipped out of the zone by Barrett. And now have Chris Bugliosi to touch it back up. Armley drops it to Brown. Gain the red line. Now Armley skates it into the zone. Tried to find Keon. That'll be another shot saved by Vassallo. Bugliosi with a one-timer. Vassallo robs him with the glove. We'll get two changes again. The goaltender for Drexel coming up with another big save. And it's not like there have not been good opportunities. If it was not for Vassallo, this might be a completely different hockey game. Now Bugliosi again, shot, another save. Puck still loose, goes wide. Wenato had a chance for it. Now back out to Armley. He's going to take a shot. Blocked in front. And that'll get up but not out. Wenato got a piece of it. It'll go to Armley at the boards, to Bugliosi at the point. He'll drift. Center it back. Look. Feed it to Bajankis. Back up. Now Armley. Looks, he'll take a shot. Ended up hitting Bond. Now Bond and Armley pressing it up along the boards. Armley wins the battle. Back to Bond. Behind the goal line. Looking to center it. We'll kick it out to Wenato. He'll shoot. Save right there by Vassallo. Now Bond again. 20 seconds remaining in the power play. Back over to Puglisi. He continues to keep it away. Good job of stick handling here. That'll be a shot deflected, though. Another chance for, oh my goodness, we're not on the backhand. Saved by Vassallo. That'll be a clear. And that'll do it for the Penn power play. 0 for 2. Vincent Vassallo. Have a night, young man. I mean, he has been doing great, but here we go. Winata again. Enters the zone. Looks, he shoots. Blocked by Jones. Another chance out in front. Finally picked up by Stephen Basin. And now they have a chance. Another shot. That'll be scooped up by Averill. Good opportunity for Barrett. And we will get a whistle. I mean, it would be hard to show the sequence that we just saw on that power play, but there were multiple glove saves, multiple chances with a loose puck, and Vincent Vassallo from his stomach, spreading out in the butterfly, was a big part of the difference. As now this draw does go back, Keon will move it over to Brown. And now him and Ford with it. Brown on the backhand. He'll shoot, go wide. Now gets pumped out of harm's way again. Basin held. And now Basin will evade a defender. Try to center it. Puck loose. Just out of the stick of Silberman. And now Keon will take it. 3-on-2 possibly developing with Brown and Ford. He was going to try to take a shot. Blocked real quick. Good job right there by Held to get into it. And the Dragons will come back. Barrett, the one of 2 goal scorers. There's going to be a clearing opportunity. Was kept in by Lemire. That stretch pass will miss Brown. This should be icing, and the whistle will be blown. It also looked like Silberman and Rockoff did bump into each other before that icing call. Again, it has definitely been a fast-paced game. 9:39 left in this second period. 39 shots for the home team, only 13 for the Dragons. As that's going to be a shot blocked right there by Ford. And now Brown will try to get it through. Does get deflected around. Now McGinley along the board will take a shot. That does get deflected. Hits the safety netting. And goes out of play. Again, like we said, coming into this one, Drexel was feeling pretty good about themselves. 4th in the conference. And the Penn Quakers were just outside of the playoffs. So obviously Penn being the 3-time defending conference champions, wanting to make sure they get their presence felt. They are still here to contend. That was a centering chance for Jones, just couldn't find a teammate. As now Houston will skate it in. Cross ice to Burner. Try to center it for Houston, tip a chance, but it was saved by Vassallo. And now Jones with an opportunity. Tried to leave it. They both wanted the puck. There's going to be a shot saved by Averill. As Egan ended up having a chance. Shot it right into the chest. Egan and Buglosi will go. Again, Penn has pretty much dominated the face-off circle for the most part tonight. Now Fletcher tried to dump it down. Silverman lost it. Picked up by Buglosi. Will feed it back over to Burner. Tries to get it. Shot! No goal! They're going to say it hit the post. Buglosi beat him high, but the iron said no. And now Jones will come the other way. Use the boards. Dump it in. Buglosi will take him towards the net. And get to the puck now. And he's going to look for more. Gets taken off the puck by Search. That'll go back in on Vassallo. And now Josh Search will have it. Stretch pass did hit. That puck is still in the zone. Play is onside. And Basin deters the clearing opportunity, and that shot will go up and out of play. So a couple rare stoppages already here in this high-flying action that we've had. A little bit over halfway point of the game as Basin now almost had his chance right there with Barrett on the doorstep. Just couldn't get a stick on it. Basin, though, gets it now. Feeds it up to the point. That'll be a shot again, deflected and out of play. It's the one thing that has worked well for Penn. They've gotten sticks on shots, body on shots, deflecting them. So there have not been a ton of shots on goal to test the senior netminder. That'll be a slapper, though. Deflected. Push blocker saved by Averill. And then Armley boxed out Andrew Walsh. There's a quick turnover there. But Armley will get quickly to it. Cycle it back to Mark Tarazzi. And try to bump it off the boards, though. Here's another turnover. Walsh tried to center it. Armley cuts it off. And will take it away. Now Bajankis again. Winata and Bond following him. Take it to the corner. That's going to be a stretch pass. Quickly taken. Walsh towards the corner. Once again, taken off the puck by Armley. And that's going to be a play. That's going to be a penalty away from the play. Michael Egan and Griffin Bond bumped into each other, and now Bond probably take a little bit of time on the bench and serve a penalty. So we will get a Drexel power play now. First one of the night for the Dragons. And this is a big one, chance to tie it up. Again, only technically 15 shots on goal. They've had opportunities, but they've continued to get blocked or deflected. But we'll see now with the man advantage what they can do. As the draw will be won by Brown. Controlled up now by Shen. Trying to get it out. And he lost the edge of his skate, though. And quickly brought back now. Chance right here for Silberman. He's going to go. Take a shot. Quick save by Averill. Now that clearing opportunity does not get out. Fletcher now. Circles. Sends it back over to Mendham. Back to Fletcher. He'll take a shot. Quickly blocked away. And frozen by Jack Averill. And we'll get the second power play out here for the Dragons. And a couple changes here for the Quakers. Walsh and Bajankis for the draw. Walk to the side. Trying to fight for it. Bajankis does get on the loose puck and will quickly clear the zone. And then Jack Lemire will get to it. Quickly dumped down. Walsh will fight for it. Try to get a centering chance. Just no one home. And that'll get quickly sent up and down by Sam Houston. About halfway done. Here comes Bajankis now. Trying to find something shorthanded. Cannot. And the Dragons will try to recenter this power play. As Stephen Basin drops it off for Jack Lemire. Lemire with it. Back over to Basin. He'll take a shot. Almost tried to get the deflection. Averill saw it through and swallows it up. So again, you're seeing they're trying to work deflections. They're trying to get a screen. I would like to see possibly Zach Jones get himself in front of the net. That's going to be another shot right up. He's going to shoot. He scores! What did I say? Zach Jones gets his second on the power play. And just like that, it's tied up 3-3. take a look at the replay. You had Walsh in front to try to tip it. It goes onto the stick of Jones. And right there, that's point blank. That's tough for any goaltender. A rough one to see if you are Jack Averill. And just like that, Zachary Jones will get his second. This one coming on the power play. He's had 2 goals in the second period. And we're tied up at 3-3. Now Walsh and Height and Brown take the draw. One back to Fletcher. And now there's going to be a scrum right in front of the Penn bench. Looks like Basin is trapping it around a little bit, trying to fight it through. Will get dumped in by Keon. Fletcher will quickly get to it. Now Walsh will pass it back. And that pass, though, quick turnover, held, tries to get to it. Now Brown and Fletcher go head-to-head, and Fletcher will take down Brown. My apologies, it's actually Andrew Walsh who took down Brown. Now the puck is lost. I guess it's stuck right by the doors of the bench. We might have to open these up. It's the fun little things you sometimes see. They were able to get it. So with that stoppage, we will get a drop down here at center ice. 4:23 remaining in the second period. Penn doubling up Drexel in shots right now, 40-20. But it's the timely offense right now for the Dragons that has kept them in this. 2 second period goals by Zachary Jones keeps this 3-3. Now Dennis Brown dumps it in, trying to find Jacob Keon. It'll go quickly. That'll get chopped up and out of play by Mendham. It did hit the glass, so I'm assuming there should be no delay game. And we will go where they draw to the left of Vincent Vasala. Boglosi and Egan to take the draw. Boglosi will get to it towards the back of the net in the corner. And now Jones will get his hand on it. He's had the hot stick, shoots it. Quick little bounce. And then Shen will skate it up here for the Quakers, go through a teammate, and get it down in the corner. Try to use the boards, could not. Quickly kept in, though, by Boglosi. Now, there's Houston with it. Houston looks, odd angle shot, saved by Vassallo, was loose. He'll quickly freeze it down. We've seen it a couple times in this game. Drexel did it a couple times in the first period. Now Penn and the Quakers do it right there. Sometimes all you need to do is throw one on net and see what happens. Possibly get a good scoring opportunity. Good job by Vassallo of freezing it down, though, not allowing any second chances. So that goes up but not out. Kept. No, that was whiffed on. We have a chance. Barrett will dump it down. Does get hit in the boards hard. Walsh gets stripped of the puck by 2 defenders. And now Fletcher will dump it in the basin. Underneath. Drexel has yet to lead in this one. Looking for their first lead. Bason's centering pass did not go. And now Freeman will dump it in. Quick battle and bang along the boards. Winata will come out of that scrum with it. And he looks, he'll take a shot, gets deflected and hits the netting. So we'll get a quick change and go back out. Again, 1 score by Aiden Barrett, 2 by Zachary Jones in this period make the 3 up for the Dragons. Besides that, we have 3 different goal scorers with Jacob Keon, Griffin Bond, and Chris Boglosi. Now Jones once again looking to try to get it in the corner. Tried to center it up. No one home. And it was a little too hot to handle right there for Lemire. So he'll try to get it. That's a possible turnover. Just hopped over Brown's stick. And that stretch pass does get deflected and will go towards the corner. But Brown will get it picked back up. Now a little dump down real quick all the way down in the zone. No icing is the call. Was a deflection. Now this little bank gives an opportunity for Egan to gain the zone. Egan gets met. There's Jones again. Brown will knock him off. And we will continue. Battle of 33rd Street again, hitting the ice. It's been nothing but high-flying action all night. That's another shot deflected up. And now, again, Keon knocks his man off. Tries to center it. Brown will get to it. Center it, just a little whiff. And that will get cleared. And now here comes Dylan Fletcher. Looking. Stretch pass shot. Oh, just couldn't get it through. David Wagstaff had a chance. The pass was just a little too high. We are under a minute to play now in the second period, and that's going to be a stretch pass with a miscommunication. That will be an icing. And we did see a late goal in the first period by Griffin Bond after an icing. Could we see something similar happen again here for the Quakers? Evan Eisler and Chris Boglosi in the dot. One back by Eisler. Quick high flip. Works well. Gets towards the Penn zone. And now Mark Tarazzi will have to touch it back up. Clear does not work. Quickly scooped back up by Berner. And now Berner will enter the zone on the backhand. Gets it towards the corner. Pushed away by it was Owen Mendham. Now that's a centering opportunity. Just missed the stick of Berner. And now Brown will try to skate it in. That is offsides. Berner just couldn't keep his skate on the same side of the blue line. So with 10.7 left, we will get a quick draw on the outside of the Dragon zone. That draw quickly, though. Houston with a chance. He'll shoot. Quick save by Vassallo. He'll swallow it up. And we'll get one more offensive zone draw. We'd already seen it before with the likes of Boglosi trying to almost do a Claude Giroux type play. Play it through on the face-off dot. Maybe even just try to get a quick shot. Brown in search with it. We'll just go into the corner. And we're just going to have Jack Lemire just basically melt it down. And that'll do it. 40 minutes of play. It's a 3-3 hockey game. Again, 2 goals by Zachary Jones. 1 goal by Jacob Keon. And that's what we have right now. Both teams will go to their locker rooms. Again, Penn will go first. And then Drexel will follow after. 40 down, 20 to go. In the battle of 33rd, we'll see what happens. Please stick around. They're going to get a fresh sheet of ice and some rest, and we will as well. We'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. Class of 1923 Arena. We got 20 minutes left to decide who wants to win this battle of 33rd Street. And we are underway. And already Armley will send it up. Quickly tipped in by Houston. Whiffed. And now here comes Buglosi behind the net. Looking, tries to center it up. Gets deflected quickly by Jack Lemire. And then Walsh will clear the zone. It'll get quickly sent back down by Armley. And now Lemire had it lost. They're cutting through. Mendham tries to get it. Quick hit right there by the boards. Houston fell down in a heap. And now the Dragons will try to clear the zone. Here comes Basin. Coming through. Kept in, though. Walsh will clear it. Shot just off the side of the net. Averill kept it. But as that happened, he did knock the net off. So we will get a quick stoppage and we will get a draw to the left of Averill. If you are just joining back in, the way we got to this 3-3 game, first of all, 2 quick goals in the first period. Started all off by Chris Buglosi. And then after that, a breakaway goal by Aiden Barrett 40 seconds later to tie it up in the first period. Then, to end it late, we had a quick goal by Griffin Bond. And then after that, it was 2 goals by Zachary Jones and a goal by Jacob Keon in the second period that tied it all up at 3. After that, quick shot right there by Burner went wide. Now Buglosi keeping control. Skates it back to his own zone. Feeds it to Houston. He'll go behind the cage and reset. Houston now skates it up on the backhand. Lost an edge. Quickly jetted right back out by Michael Egan. And we'll get set back through. Zachary Jones whiffed on that stretch pass. Will get a quick change. He looks a little tired getting off the ice. And now getting set right back up. With a chance quickly stopped away. Bond just lost track of the puck. Left right off his stick. And Vassallo with the poke. And now we'll get Josh Church to throw it up. Now here comes Basin one-on-one. Backhand shot just goes a little wide of Averill, but kept in. Walsh kept it into Barrett. Barrett battling for it. Gets sent up along the boards. Bajankis has it now. And Matas Bajankis will skate it out for the Quakers. Gets poked but keeps track of it. Joined, he'll take a shot, saved by Vassallo, blocked it away. And now Basin will stretch it to Barrett. And we almost had a Quaker lose his edge. Now he's on the backhand. Looks, tries to center it up. Puck loose, poked, but not out. Kept up, that'll be a shot deflected, just goes wide. Now puck's loose again. The net is knocked off once more. That was close quarters. Averill again just making sure he could block off the angle, the short angle shot. These nets have definitely been a little bit loose tonight. Obviously there was another game. Bowling Green took a win, got their first win of the season over the Quakers in the ladies game that happened right before that. Nonetheless, got a little SFBN after dark here. As Drexel trying to clear the zone. Silberman with it. Feeds it up to Mendham. He'll dump it into the neutral zone. Now try to feed Jones. Jones gets it taken away quickly, though, by Ford. Now Ford tries to center it through, gets it blocked away. And then Brown had a chance as well. Now Jones will just quickly get it out of harm's way. And it'll quickly get picked up by Silberman, but but poked away by Brown. Now Silverman will take his man into the boards. And Burner did get up okay. Now Keon with a head of steam into the offensive zone. Quick shot! Right into the chest of Vassallo. And we'll get another whistle. Again, already that is now 42 saves on the night for Vincent Vassallo. He has been tested time and time again, and he has came up big. 2 Penn power plays with quality chances all around. And he has yet to let up one on the penalty kill. And if it was not for his efforts, this could definitely be a completely different game. Now Keon having a chance with Brown. He takes a shot, does sneak through, but Vassallo quickly squeezes him with the pads. And we will get another offensive zone draw here for the Quakers. Again, Penn out shooting the Dragons 46-21. As a Basin quickly wins that draw back down to the corner. Shipped around, but Houston's the first to it. Makes his defender miss. Goes behind the net. Looks. Cannot get it through. Stephen Basin does chip it around, but not out. Good job right there by Walsh, though, to finally poke it into the neutral zone. But Puglisi right back on with the attack. Quick shot! Right into the chest again of Vassallo. We were seeing corners getting picked. Puglisi almost had one, was beaten by the iron in that second period. And since the opening puck drop, he has definitely made his presence felt. And that draw quickly won by Silverman. Puck will jut out to him. Stretch pass for Jones, couldn't connect. And now that will be an intercept right there by Armley, and he'll ship it down on Vassallo, who will freeze it. And already we are seeing here fresh sheet of ice, just a little bit over 5 minutes played. Some players already, the puck's still gliding a little bit. They're having a little bit of trouble tracking it. We'll see if that ends up leading into a grade A scoring chance down the line. Winata now tying it up with Egan. Winata will win it back. That'll be a shot from the point. Just goes a little wide. Good chance, though, by Rockoff. And Egan will clear it towards the neutral zone at center ice. That dump in for Rockoff did hit an official. Now here's a turnover. Great move already there by Bond. And that's going to be a shot right on Vassallo. Winata tried to poke it free. But it'll get frozen down once again. Again, a game that's had a lot of back and forth, opportunistic chances that the Dragons have cashed in on. Great forechecking and offensive pressure has been the key for the Quakers. As that was David Wagstaff having it. Now, we had a player lose his edge again. That's happened a couple times tonight. And then Wagstaff gets hit with that dump in. He was offside. So then another quick whistle. Probably the most whistles we've had here in the period to start. Again, it's been pretty high-flying action. These guys have been giving us a lot of good opportunities. Looks like they're going to put this, though, down at center ice instead of right outside the Quaker zone. Brown wins that draw. Quickly scooped up now by Shen, attacking. That'll be a shot. Quick save. Oh, my goodness. Vassallo was almost out of position. Ford almost had him chance to get a lead. Now Brown, quick shot. Another save by Vassallo. Gets the rebound now. Sets it back up to the point. Ford again. Dancing with it. Loses his edge again. Dylan Fletcher now. My fault. That is Wagstaff. Will dump it in. And another hard check there by Wagstaff into the board. Another huge hit right there. Josh Church. Josh Search with the big hit. And now the physicality continues to pick up. We're having turnovers. Now it's a centering chance. Oh, deflected away by Steven Basin. Jacob Keon almost had a chance right on the doorstep. Now Basin couldn't get it to Fletcher. So now Dennis Brown will settle it down and start up the attack. Now back with it, Houston. Circles, looks, trying to get an odd angle shot, just goes a little high. But right back on it is Park. Dip it back down to Buglosi. He'll just chip it down. And now chance for a stretch pass. Basin. Maybe trying to find Barrett. Ends up just going through with it. He'll skate it up now. Past the red line. Gets it into the offensive zone. And he'll put the pressure on Taurasi. Buglosi again. Nice little chip up. Gets it out of the zone and now with the puck. Buglosi enters on in. Looks. Shot just. Might have hit a body and goes wide. But quick on the loose puck. Dips it down behind the net. Quickly sealed off. Good play right there by Owen Menham. Stopping Keon of an opportunity. But that clear will go all the way down the ice. Icing will be waved off. Menham with the great hustle right there on Taurasi. We can already tell Penn bench was not the biggest fan of it, but nonetheless, they're back on the push. Houston with it now. Just had it lose his skate. That's a huge hit right there. Houston saw his defender coming and just sent him down. That'll be a shot loose. Saved by Vassallo. Puck dribbled wide. Now Houston again going towards it in the boards. One out by Buglosi. Centering pass. Shot just couldn't get a hold of it. Was Burner. He's had chances. Just hasn't been able to put one on net. And now Silverman will dump it down to Taurasi. We'll get there. They will call that one icing. We will get a change. 11:03 left in the third period. Big game. You got to put mind over body right now. You can tell this was a late puck drop. We're about a 9:30 start. We're getting towards the wee hours of the day here on Friday. As now Bond hits him down low. That puck will get cleared all the way down again, this time by Walsh. This will be icing. Now they're going to call it down to center ice. Assuming they're saying there was a deflection. The officials will come and start talking. And we will get a draw in the face-off, right at the red line. Winata tried to get that back, but Fletcher will get it. Now Winata takes it in the neutral zone, now skates it in. Behind the net. Feeds it up to the point. That'll be a shot quickly. Glove down by Vassallo. Michael Rockoff again with a shot to the point. We were seeing a lot of bodies in front of the net in the second period. Not a ton so far to start the third. Now Winata looking to win it back. That's going to be another shot by Rockoff that does get deflected. Now Search. Try to dump it down and try to stretch it out for Jones. Icing is waved off again. Nassim and Freeman went to the boards. Now Jones walled off by Bond. Still fighting for it. Puck goes loose. Winata will get to it and skate it out now for the Quakers. Winata will dump it down right behind Vassallo. Fletcher will move it up and out. And now Silberman will skate it into the neutral zone. Moved back up by Jones. Now, they might have been caught in a change almost, but that just hit off of Brown and goes back out. Seeing right now both teams trying to find the hole in the armor and get a good chance on either of these goaltenders. Now another dump down. Quickly skated through. Now Brown with a chance. Didn't have a teammate. Tried to dump it in the corner. But here comes O'Reilly. Gets it stolen away. Now Brown wants up with it with Ford. He's going to go towards the center of the ice. Shot just goes a little wide of the net. Had a chance if it snuck through. Couldn't get it on Vassallo. Now it's going to be another shot. Saved by Vassallo. Now chance here. Rebound shot. Another save. Another opportunity. Another save by Vassallo. And there was a whistle. The puck was loose. Whistle before the goal. The officials lost sight of it. Great chances for Keon and Shen. But Vassallo again stood tall. Now Basin and Buglosi again. That'll be one right back to Lemire. Now bounced up. They're going to say that was played with a hand pass, I believe, by Mark Tarazzi. Were they going to put him in the box? Interesting turn of events. They're going to put Mark Tarazzi in the box. Wondering if interference is the call? I didn't see a direct signal. Oh, they're saying the way that he cupped it is illegal. Cannot do that. It's an illegal play with the glove. An intriguing one, but nonetheless, this gives the Dragons a chance here to take their first lead. Lemire now. Shot. Does get deflected. Hits the safety netting. This Drexel power play did have one opportunity. Could not connect. With 8:22 left. We'll see what happens. Basin wins it up. Stick just left the defender's hands. Now it's going to be Lemire. Shot! Averill will scoop it up, and now here's a little party right in front of the goaltender. Oh, we got bodies falling down. It looked like Freeman and Walsh were all met up. Seems like everyone's okay, though. Still a power play here. Stick to look out for right here. Zachary Jones had the 2 goals for the Dragons in the second period. Help make this a 3-3 game. Now here we go. Opportunity. Buglosi shorthanded. One-on-one with Vassallo. He digs. He shoots. Saved by the goaltender. Puck or arm is up though. And a whistle is blown. Looks like we're getting a slashing call. And that'll make it 4-on-4. We get a replay possibly on that. I think they're going to call it on Jack Lemire. We'll give you that replay when we get a second. So they're going to say he did slash him right before he had the chance at the one-on-one with Vassallo. Impeded his chance to score. So now a lot of ice and a lot of room for all these skaters. That will be an icing call, though. And here we are. Again, Buglosi coming in. Lemire trying to split the difference. One-on-one. It was right at the end as he was trying to go on the backhand is what the penalty is there for the official. Brown won that back, but Freeman just wasn't close enough to it, so it'll leak back out and they'll touch back up. Penn will have about a 30-second power play after the penalty on Taurasi is up. There's Basin. Over to Jones. He enters the zone. Looks for a teammate. He finds Burner. That's going to be a shot. Saved by Averill. Barrett, another chance. It was stopped. So now we'll get a draw to the right of Averill. Barrett and Winata in the dot. Winata will win it back. Now Shen with it. Pressured by Jones. Slide it right back up to Park. Has to reverse. Give it back to Shen. Now Winata. Dumps it into the blue line. Hit hard, though, by Jones. And Mendham will send it back to Dylan Fletcher. And they will try to clear the zone here. Quick stretch pass. Almost hit Barrett. He's going to dump it back down to Jones now. Here's Jones. He's going to shoot. Just goes high of the net. And now they got to be careful here. They're trying to get into a change. Teammates just bumped each other. Good poke, though, there by Fletcher. If I'm not mistaken, they have 5 on the ice. That should be too many men. I believe that penalty should be called just now. Miscommunication. Or are they calling this offsides? I thought it was still 4-on-4. And I saw 5 Dragons. I could be wrong. Nonetheless, they're going to call that offsides, I assume. And we are back with it. 5 seconds remaining on the Taurasi penalty. And now Penn will have a power play for about 25 seconds. Brown now ships it over to Freeman. He'll enter the zone. Dump it down to Ford. Ford now that'll be a shot. Another chance. Oh, Keon had a chance. Vassallo said no. Now Fletcher can't get it past Armley. Armley tries to dump it back down. Basin will ship this all the way down. And they will say it was after the penalty was killed. Also, icing is the call. We got 5:56 remaining. 3-3 still the score in the third period in the Battle of 33rd Street. So this is a lot of threes right now. Nonetheless, Armley keeps it in. Basin, though, quickly gets it down. Kept in, though, by Armley. Now here's a chance possibly for Penn. Houston tried to set it up. Burner had a chance, couldn't get a stick on it. Now back with it down goes Egan. Egan tried to get it over to Silverman. Couldn't get it past. Now here comes Buglosi. He's had chances all night. Looks, gets a shot, just gets deflected by Fletcher. And now Penn trying to keep the heat on. Buglosi almost lost it. Tied up by Fletcher. Gets it taken away. And now that's a big hit right there. Some more physicality. Keon now trying to get it to Armley, just couldn't. And now Walsh will clear it out into the neutral zone as the Dragons will get a couple fresh legs on the ice. Quickly passed out. Puglosi's still there. Now he's got Houston with him. He looks, tries to center it up. Saved by Vassallo. Oh, Houston hits him down. Barrett took exception. The officials will quickly separate. And we'll take a quick breather. So we will get a draw right here to the right of Vassallo. 54 saves on the night. 20 for Jack Averill. And we're going to be set. That's going to be a shot right there from the point from Shen. Winata will get to it in the corner. Tries the center. Gets it through. Feeds it back up. Shen. Shot just goes wide. Shen will try to keep it in. Up, but not out. Bajankis keeping it along the boards. Finally poked free by Aiden Barrett. And the Quakers right back on the attack. Winata tipped that into the zone. Search now. Flipped it. They're going to say it hit off of the glass. So 4:03 remaining. Another offensive zone draw here for the Quakers. Buglosi and Eisler. Now, Buglosi wins it. Tries to get a tip off. Oh, just an opportunity for Brown. That is off its moorings, though. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm sounding like a broken record, but these goaltenders have been having to go from pipe to pipe to try to cut off some of these opportunities. The nets have been loose a little bit. That's a dump in. Icing will be the call. So now we will get a draw towards Averill. 3:47 remaining in regulation. Still a 3-3 hockey game again. 3 separate goal scorers for the Quakers in Chris Buglosi, Jacob Keon, and Griffin Bond. 2 goals for Zachary Jones for the Dragons and 1 for Aiden Barrett. And speaking of, there's Jones now. Tied up with Buglosi, lost the puck. Now Armley will take it. Feed it to Brown. Now Tarazi up with it to Brown. He'll take a shot. Another save by Vassallo. He will freeze it again. He's been tested with good opportunities. He's had good chances with his angles. He's been working it pretty well. And now Tarazi again in the corner. Works it through. Goes to Basin. Basin will flip it down. Jones trying to beat Tarazi to it. Now his odd angle shot. That was saved by Averill. Dangerous though. Houston tried to freeze off Basin. Now he's going to crush him on the boards. What a hit. Sam Houston takes down Basin. Now Basin wanting a little bit more. That's turned over though. Now he's going to take a shot. It's loose. No one could get to it. Now quickly Dennis Brown will try to get it up, but can't get it out. Basin and Jones trying to feed it through. Now Brown will get it to Buglosi. He's got a little bit of room. Chris Buglosi now looking. He'll shoot. Just goes up and high out of play. Watch out if you're in Section G. Now we got 2:31. Three goals in the first 2 periods each. Collectively, no goals in the third so far. Winata now will just send it. Vassallo will quickly freeze. Winata back in the dot with Eisler. Will win it back. That'll be a shot. Goes loose. Now Winata with a chance. Vassallo just stretches out and freezes the puck. He saw Winata with a chance to possibly beat him on an angle and just decided to cut it off right away. Risky play, but it paid off for the Dragons goaltender. And he's going to give himself a little bit of water or Gatorade and readjust his mask. Now, once again, chance right here. Up close. Shot. Save. The net is knocked off again. Good chance for Bond. So we're getting some more fans quickly walking in here. As it's getting a little closer. And every movement with the stick and the puck means just more. Now Mendham will dump it through. Park now gets it to Winata. Winata will gain the zone. Look, quick shot blocked away by Vassallo. Winata again now, dancing with it. Dips it back down to Freeman. He'll take a shot. Oh, there was a chance for Bond. Another chance saved by Vassallo. That's going to be another one. Just goes wide. Two good chances right there for Park. But the Quakers still battling. Bajankis now. Bond couldn't get it. Puck still loose. Fletcher gets it out of the zone. Puck will be offsides, and they will play it. If I'm not mistaken, this could be an intentional offsides. This could put the face-off all the way down. The officials are going to say, though, it's going to go right here. You can see the Drexel players pointing it down. That is a rule sometimes in hockey. It's up to the discretion of the officials, but if they deem that it was intentional, they can put it all the way into the opposite zone. Nonetheless, it's right outside of the Drexel zone. Now Jack Lemire will dump it down. Armerly will touch it up. Look, quickly touched. Now Brown trying to gain the zone. He has it. Deeks shoots, save with the mask. Another chance. Brown will shoot. Oh, it got deflected and blocked away. Stephen Basin with the block. And now we get an icing. We get a replay possibly on that. 58.6 remaining. If it's not for Stephen Basin, this could be another last-minute goal, and Dennis Brown had a chance to play the hero. Looks like we have a timeout called. Or it's just a Drexel. I think the Drexel coach is just wanting to talk to the official. Nonetheless, though, we are seeing right here, Penn is drawing up an offensive zone play. Again, now shot totals 63 for the Quakers, 23. As again, we're going to see Brown enter the zone, get a shot, great chance. And then Maglosi had an opportunity, and if you see right there again, Stephen Basin had his stick and skate right in front of Dennis Brown before it gets cleared all the way down. And it's little plays like that sometimes, playing in front of your goaltender. Even though he's already been peppered, he has 60 saves on the night. That is definitely something that will be appreciated by Vassallo if Drexel has a chance to come out victorious in this one. Nonetheless, though, we have seen some late goals in this game. We'll see if the Quakers have another one in them. And it's going to be the line that's done it all night. Maglosi now taking the draw against Silberman. That's going to be quickly chopped up and out by Mendham. And now there's Jones trying to streak through. He will take it away, though, by Tarazi. Now he's going to have a chance. Shot just goes a little wide, though, kept in now by Lemire. He's going to feed Jones. He loses it. Now Armerly tries to feed it back to Brown. Gets blocked. Tarazi tries to feed it through. They're going to say no icing. And now Maglosi looks 20 seconds left in regulation. Taurasi gains the zone with Brown. He looks. He's going to shoot. Just goes wide of the net. And now it's going to be turned over. Try to clear it up. But now, Buglosi with 4 seconds. He'll take a shot. Just goes wide and high. And we've played 60 minutes. We're going to have some extra hockey. Doesn't look like they're going to cut the ice. Should be 3-on-3, it looks like. And as these guys get a quick breath, we will step aside and we'll be right back with the overtime period in just a second here on the Sports Fan Base Network. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a 5-minute overtime period. Sudden victory, sudden death, whatever you'd like to call it, golden goal. And then we will see where we go on from there. A lot of ice, a lot of skilled players. We'll see what happens. Dylan Fletcher feeds it over to Zachary Jones. Tries to feed it back. Now that's going to be a turnover. Here's Houston. A lot of ice. Shot does get blocked away by Barrett. They're going to keep the pressure on, though. Armley couldn't get to it, so we'll get Buglosi. Try to feed it down to Houston. He'll just keep it. Buglosi has great stick handling skills and a lot of speed. He'll feed it back to Houston. Back to him. Skate around, look for some room. He'll shoot. Saved by Vassallo. And then there's a miscommunication, but Vassallo will go. See, Houston crashed the net. Clearly, Zachary Jones thought that Vassallo would just want to freeze it down, get some fresh legs. And that almost proved costly. Nonetheless, now it is Brown, Bajankis, and Park. Basin, Lemire, and Walsh on for the Dragons. Now Basin, high flip up. Puck loose, scooped up again here by Dennis Brown. And he'll go right behind Averill. Now over to Bajankis. There was no ice cut, so there might be some weird bounces. We shall see. Quickly, though, now, Bajankis on the side will shoot. Quick save. Brown shot just hits the pipe. Another opportunity. It's loose, and it'll get sticked away. Brown again with the game on his stick. Gets beaten by the iron. Now Park leaves it back to Brown. Brown, though, does get it poked away by Walsh, so they'll have to retouch. Again, possession is key in the 3-on-3. Bajankis now will go in on the backhand. He'll take a weird angle shot, just goes a little wide. Houston now, the fresh legs. Tries to skate it through. Penn almost gets cut in a change, but Armley will touch it back up. Now here is Buglosi. He'll take a shot, gets deflected, hits the netting. Big for the Dragons. They'll get some fresh legs on the ice. So still Armley, Houston, and Buglosi. Fletcher, Walsh, and Wagstaff. My apologies, Mendenham. Now here's Armley. Cutting through. In the corner. Feed it back to Houston. Tries to make his man miss. Reverses. On the backhand. Dump it right back to Bugalosi. Bugalosi looks. Sees. Now a battle here in the corner. Now that's going to be cleared. But Fletcher could not get to it. Armley almost had it taken away, but Houston gets to it quick. Now Houston will gain the zone. Looks. Thinks. Shot. Save. Real quick with the kick save by Vassallo. But now here comes Bugalosi on the backhand with a head of steam. He shoots. Just doesn't beat the goaltender. Another save for the Dragons netminder. Now Houston back with it. Tries Deeks. Shot. Just couldn't get through. Mendham also with great defense. Now there's going to be a shot. Another save. Puck still loose. Minute 35 remaining in the overtime. Bugalosi will keep it in. We'll see if Penn wants to change or not. They're going to send it over to Armley. Houston will go off. Winata on. Now they might get caught in the change, but there's just too many tired legs out there for the Dragons, so they will just clear. And now Winata looks. Thinks about it. Cuts through. Goes up. Shot. Saved by Vassallo. We lost the track of the puck. Luckily, Jack Lemire had it. Now they have a chance here. Basin. Looking. Tries to feed it into Lemire. He'll go backhand. Just goes wide. He had a chance if he could get it on net. Nonetheless, now Basin will keep it up. We're under a minute to play in the overtime period. Basin. Back to it. Now feeds it over to Walsh. We'll try to get to Lemire. Just a little bit too much on it. But he'll get it in the corner. Now he'll take a shot. Just goes wide. Basin, though, quickly picks it up. Back over to Walsh. Gets Basin now. 1-on-1. He shoots. He scores! Stephen Basin's the hero. Drexel beats Penn 4-3. They take the win in the Battle of the Class of 1923 Arena. The fans for Drexel are hooting and hollering. My goodness, Stephen Basin with the OT winner. And the Battle of 33rd will go. Here, again, lots of room. Gets it on Averill. Backhand, 5-hole. What a beauty. And almost too tired to celebrate, but still gets it going. And then his teammates rightfully give him the celebration as we have the handshake line going through here. Fantastic battle we just saw. 60 minutes and then some. But nonetheless, it was the opportunistic offense of Drexel that proved big. Honestly, Vincent Vassallo should get a warm ovation. 63 saves for the goaltender. 20 for Jack Averill. That'll put Penn now at 1. That'll have another OT loss now for Penn. Not something you would love to see. But yeah, as of now, that'll mean Drexel will go to 3-1 in the standings. Penn will go to 1-3-1 and stay at that 7th spot. 6 teams make the playoffs. Drexel's going to give an ovation to their fans. Quick exit for all the Penn faithful. And that will do it. But real quick, just want to give a shout out to everyone watching. Besides that, my producer, Sean Kelly, my cameraman, Dan Booth, for sticking with me all night tonight. Drexel takes this one in a heated overtime battle, 4-3. That'll do it, though, for the Sports Fan Base Network. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your night. See you guys later.